Hold up, why do they doubt the kid? I'm about to prove them all wrong again. I got a low tolerance, cause they don't even know what the problem is. It's me. You waiting on the boy to fail, then hold your breath and face your death. Cause you play a roulette with each step. I progress, no less. Go ahead and place your bet.
Welcome back, y'all. This is the Double M Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jesus Dinero, here with my co-host,
Puma El Gato.
What do we got going on tonight, my man?
Vergil Ortiz has a lot on his plate as he goes up against Lubin. Let's talk about it.
So there's actually a couple different things we're going to be talking about in this video. We're going to be talking about that, absolutely. Vergil Ortiz is a fight coming up against Lubin. Lubin, no pushover whatsoever. It's going to be a damn good fight. Hopefully, Ortiz can get by him. The reason I say hopefully is because he's going to fight this other guy next year, confirmed by Hearn. Boots Ennis, man. Boots Ennis last night looked phenomenal. First round knockout. I always mispronounce the name of his opponent. Luis Malima. Well, again, I always mispronounce it. But anyways, looked phenomenal. First round knockout. Great victory for Boots Ennis. First time moving up in the division. All that good stuff. And the reason I'm hoping Vergil Ortiz gets by Lubin is because I want to see that fight. Obviously, a loss will deter that a little bit. But listen, the fact that Boots Ennis looked so good again with the first round knockout of his opponent last night just kind of stamps that Boots is that guy, man. A lot of people have been even making the comments that Terrence Crawford has been dodging Boots. I believe Eddie Hearn himself has actually made that comment as well. Different people, all that good stuff. And listen, I'm not going to speak on the dodging allegations, but I am going to speak about Vergil Ortiz versus Boots. Listen, I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I like Vergil Ortiz a lot. Very humble guy, very hardworking guy. Great family man, all that good stuff, I got Boots, man. I got Boots. The reason I got Boots is not just because he looked phenomenal last night, but I think even though Vergil Ortiz can certainly knock out a Boots Ennis, getting to the point where he can touch him up to be able to do so is tough. Vergil Ortiz does great against opponents that are willing to sit there and trade with them. I don't think Boots is going to sit there and trade with them. Boots is phenomenal at taking the angles, using those angles to do devastating damage, making you lose sight of where he is, and so that you don't see the punches coming, all that good stuff. So with that being said, listen, not only do I want the fight to happen, I hope that it happens, but I'm picking Boots to win it. Now, again, listen, before we even get to that, Vergil Ortiz has to get past Lubin. Lubin is no pusher whatsoever himself. The only reason I do believe Vergil Ortiz is going to get past Lubin is because while Lubin does have firepower and he's slick, he's not that much of a slick fighter. He's not. He's a slick fighter, but I wouldn't call him elite slickness by any means. So I think Vergil Ortiz has enough power, enough firepower, not just in the punch strength, but in the ability to be able to land them against an individual that's not as crafty as like a Boots Ennis, but still somewhat crafty in Lubin. So I'm pretty confident in being able to say that Vergil's going to get past that. Now, Boots is a different question. Boots is a whole different animal. And I believe if that matchup were to happen, I do believe that Boots Ennis would take the fight. Again, I believe Boots Ennis would use angles, which I think Vergil Ortiz would have a lot of trouble with. But listen, for being 100% honest, man, I believe that this fight should happen. I believe that there's a lot of reason, not just for both Boots and Vergil, that this fight should happen. But listen, again, Eddie Hearn has already confirmed that I believe he said that they have a contract, if I'm not mistaken, for it to happen sometime in 2026. So it's just a matter of time, just a matter of getting there, and we'll see what happens, man. But I think this is a great fight. I think both of these dudes are good dudes that would like to have the other as a name under their record. That way they can show, hey, look, I faced another elite opponent. I got that dub against them. Again, personally, I'm picking Boots. Phenomenal work by Boots. The angles would be very, very difficult for Vergil Ortiz, and I think that's what would trouble him most: the speed, the slickness, the angles, all the things that Boots has in spades are the things that would be able to defeat Vergil Ortiz. And the only thing that I could really see as a benefit to Vergil Ortiz is I do think he'd obviously come in with more of the power, and he does have a decent accuracy with the punches as well. But again, this is against most of his opponents that have chosen to meet him in the firefight. I don't think Boots is going to choose to meet him in the firefight. But listen, you never know, man. You never know. Again, phenomenal fight. I'm looking forward to it. Let's hope Vergil gets past Lubin. That way we can move on to this great fight next year. What do you think about that, my man?
See, it's interesting to think that this fight was already made, and both of these men, both Boots and Vergil Ortiz, basically already have, I don't want to call them warm-up fights, because neither of the people that Boots or Vergil were fighting, or pushovers by no means. But I do think both of these fights happening before the contracted fight that's going to go on into the next year by Eddie Hearn, I think is a good barometer for both of these men. I do think, however, that Boots' fight against Usman Lima at super welterweight, mind you, a division that he hadn't stepped foot in. This is his first outing, and he already got in round 1 knockout. That in and of itself is looking a lot more impressive, and it's making me put my coins in the favor of Boots Ennis versus Vergil Ortiz, which means Vergil Ortiz is going to have a lot on his plate, because not only does he have Boots Ennis on his mind coming into the new year, but also he's got to make himself look even better, although that's already kind of a hard task in and of itself, against Erickson Lubin. And again, Erickson Lubin is, like we both established, no pushover by any means. And again, he's not going to be the protractor in their head type of boxer that a Boots Ennis is. So really, this matchup against Erickson Lubin is really going to more so be a barometer of power and exhibition for Vergil Ortiz. And if he doesn't put Erickson Lubin away, it's not going to look good for him going into the Boots Ennis fight. So again, Vergil Ortiz has a lot on his plate, and I don't think he's really going to get any sort of insight as to a boxer that can work all the angles, because no disrespect to Eric Lubin, but he's definitely not that type of person to work the angles in the same way that a Terrence Crawford or a Boots Ennis would be. So I do think it's going to be more so a barrage of bombs after bombs after bombs, and it's going to be more so a test if Vergil Ortiz can tank those, which that's nothing to sneeze at. But again, he is missing the one important thing that he's going to need against Boots Ennis, and that's going to be insight into the angles, which Erickson Lubin is not going to have. And if he doesn't at least get a knockdown or a TKO over Lubin, Vergil Ortiz's stock is not going to look any better going up against Boots Ennis going into the new year.
Yeah, man, I completely agree. I think he needs to look good up against Lubin for people to even be like, okay, he might do okay against Ennis. But either way, man, even if he does phenomenal, looks great against Lubin, I'm still going to pick Boots, man. Boots is just that guy right now. Again, for all the reasons I listed earlier, the angles, the speed, very crafty, phenomenal ring IQ. Again, I just think Boots is that guy right now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Again, shout out to Boots Ennis for a phenomenal first round knockout this past weekend. Hopefully, Vergil Ortiz gets past Lubin here in the next couple of weeks, and let's hope that everybody makes this match, because it'd be a phenomenal match for everybody to see. And with that, make sure to like, comment, hate, subscribe, DM us about the bullshit, and
Until next time, get rest and stay blessed. We'll see you in the next one.